half of them. He's great for our offense. Dribble handoffs, his passing ability, his lob threat, and defensively, he's been one of the best in the game for a long time. He had a great season in Sydney. He's healthy, he's fresh, and he's the best player available for us. And we have to look ahead to the playoffs at different matchups, and we felt vulnerable, particularly in case of injury, against certain matchups. So that's why Bogut is coming.
Do you expect him to slide into like an immediate role?
I have no idea how it's going to play out. That's not the expectation. Bogut and I have spoken, and the whole idea is he's coming in with no expectations for minutes. It's just he's going to be a part of our team, and whatever the situation calls for, then we'll use him for that.
What kind of attitude does he bring as a competitor, and what kind of teammate is he? Because he's very popular with some players.
Yeah, I mean he's always had an edge to him as a defender, shot blocker. We could use some of that right now, just the grit, and I think the veteran presence. It's all good. It can only help, and so we're excited to get him, and we'll see how the process goes over the next week. I know he's got to take care of visa issues, and so when we talked the other day, he said he expected to be here sometime next week. I think we're on the road somewhere next week, but so we'll see how it goes.
He said in April that he expected his NBA days to be done. What was his reaction when you guys first reached out to him?
Well, I know the first contact was a couple of months ago. Larry Harris went over there, saw him play recently, but I think there was contact a couple months ago with his agent, and I don't know who initiated it, but so we were aware it was a possibility once the season was done. And obviously he doesn't apply to that April or the March 30th or April 1st date on buyout guys, since he wasn't playing in the NBA. So we knew he would have eligibility for the playoffs. So it was always an option, but it had to play out. And I think Larry's trip over there and seeing how healthy Andrew is, he averaged close to 30 minutes a game. He's MVP of the league. He's still got something to offer, and whatever role that means, he's ready to accept and take on the challenge, and we're excited to have him.
Draymond said you guys had a stern meeting that came today where a lot of people spoke up. What was today like, especially out last night?
I think just coming off a loss last night forces you to take a look in the mirror, whether you're a coach or a player or anything within the organization. We all have to look at ourselves, and I definitely did that last night. Didn't like what I saw in terms of my own coaching job last night, and so we came in, we had a good film session, we talked about our flaws, where we need to get better, and we had a good practice, so hopefully that will carry over to another good one tomorrow, and then a good game on Friday. We'll try to rebuild the momentum that we've lost here over the last few weeks.
What didn't you like what you did?
Excuse me?
What didn't you like that you did?
We didn't execute offensively. I like to let us play. Last night was a night where we needed to execute. I needed to get us into more sets to counter what Boston was doing defensively, particularly without Clay. So I didn't feel like I did a very good job there. And then our defensive game plan could have been tighter. We're probably throwing a little too much at the guys right now, so we want to simplify things and take care of the basics. You got to take care of the basics before you can get into any wrinkles. And right now, we're not taking care of the basics.
I think players appreciate hearing that from you. Here's where I didn't do as well as I wanted to do. It's a big conversation like that, transparency. How far does that go?
I don't know. You can ask them. I just think it's the best way to operate. Just be honest, point out their flaws, point out my flaws. Nobody's perfect. We're all going to make mistakes, but we're all in this together. So we have to work on our weaknesses and our flaws together. My job is to point them out and to execute a practice plan with my coaches that addresses our needs, and their job is to execute those. And if we're all doing those things, we've proven we can do pretty well.
You have a couple of days still. How does Clay's knee, and what is? I haven't actually seen.
Yeah, Clay did not practice today, nor did Sean Livingston. Looney did practice. Looney's feeling better. I expect him to play Friday, and I guess Clay and Sean are still questionable.
You said, everyone can talk about their faults, but Draymond just said we're not competing. How do you coach that? How do you get them to concentrate?
Well, that's a flaw. That has to be the umbrella over everything that you do, right? You can talk about all the little details, whether you're handling the ball right or executing your offense or handling pick and roll coverages defensively. You have to do all that stuff, but that has to come within the context of serious competition. Our competitive level last night left a lot to be desired, and it showed on the tape, and our guys acknowledged that. And you address it, you show it, and you demand it, and players have to demand it from each other, and you move on.
Generally speaking, it seems like Draymond's played pretty well defensively. What's going to be the key to getting the rest of the team, to kind of follow his lead on that side of it?
All those details that we talked about. The details defensively always matter, and then the competitive desire on top of all that. And you put all that together, and you got a good formula, and we got enough defensive-minded players to get it done, and we'll get it done.
You had an East Coast road trip at this time of the year, coming back from the East Coast, playing these games, and down the road again. Is this a part of the schedule as you kind of circle that this could be kind of a difficult time, travel-wise?
Not really. Sorry to ruin your story. It's just part of, every team goes through it. So you understand it. In the NBA, you're going to have some road trips. You got tough stretches of your schedule, whatever. So you just take it on as it comes. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.